Hello, everyone. I'm Rick Blackwell. The Justice Department asked an appeals court to suspend a Texas judge's ruling that blocks the president's immigration plans. Now, the Justice Department says it will defend plans to expand the program that allows illegal immigrants to stay in the U.S. if they were brought to the country as children. This comes after 26 states filed a lawsuit contending that the president's plans to shield millions from deportation were unconstitutional. In Ferguson, Missouri, the family of Michael Brown denounces the shootings of two police officers early this morning. Take a look. This was the scene outside Ferguson Police Headquarters shortly after midnight. You can see crowds of people everywhere, and then you could hear those gunshots zipping by. Reports first suggested they came from a nearby hill, but some say the shots sounded like they may have been fired from within the crowd. St. Louis County Chief of Police John Belmar says the protests last night were a little rowdy at times, but the shooting was totally unexpected.
I was certainly shaken up about this at midnight when the phone rang. So I think that's natural for the officers, certainly to be very cautious about their well-being and different things like that.
One officer was shot in the shoulder. The other was shot in the cheek. Both have been released from the hospital and are expected to recover. Police are investigating possible leads, but no arrests yet. In Indiana, more than a dozen people are injured today after a bus carrying members of a college bowling team crashes. You can see the bus turned over on its side. Clark County sheriffs say 6 medical choppers were deployed to the scene of the accident. The bus came to a stop along a grassy area. Debris is everywhere. In Florida, military officials confirmed they found the crash site where a helicopter carrying 11 Marines and soldiers went down. Pieces of debris and some human remains have washed up along Florida's Panhandle beaches. Now, the Black Hawk helicopter went down during a nighttime training exercise earlier this week.
At this point, we are not hopeful for survivors, and we are transitioning our search and rescue operation to a recovery and accident safety investigation.
The military has not yet released the names of the Marines and soldiers presumed dead in the crash. 2 top members of the Secret Service are now under investigation. The Washington Post first reported an incident last week where the agents allegedly crashed a government car into a White House barrier after a night of drinking. One of the agents is the second in command of the president's protective detail. Both have been reassigned. And they're back on Earth at last. 2 Russian cosmonauts and 1 American astronaut landed safely in Kazakhstan after leaving the International Space Station. Astronaut Barry Wilmore and his Russian counterparts spent nearly 6 months in space. And that's a look at your Newsmax Now update. More news coming your way in 30 minutes. I'm Rick Blackwell.